Are you looking to really upgrade your day on the mountain? Well, you might be looking for a new goggle, you might be looking for a new helmet, but really I want to talk to you about why these two things are a system that work together to make a difference for your day on the mountain. Every Glade goggle is made to work with every Glade helmet. Yeah, they're designed specifically to work with one another, and that's not a new idea, that's not a new concept, and a lot of folks talk about it. But typically we always think about what helmet works best for us, maybe what goggle works best for us, or what's the latest and greatest. But why is it important to make sure that these two things work in conjunction? And that is really for ultimate performance, but mainly ultimate fog protection. Every Glade goggle has a fog-free guarantee. From the Mesa, the Adapt 2, the Fathom Plus, you name it, we guarantee all of our goggles not to fog. And frankly, we stand behind that guarantee on a regular. But making sure that you're using the goggles properly and with the right helmet will make a huge difference on how this system is going to perform for you. So let's talk a little bit about why those things work together. Now, obviously in our goggles, we have the fog-free guarantee, and we work really hard on making sure that we have an active ventilation system in the goggles, pushing fresh air in, evacuating hot air out. Now, how does the helmet come into play with that? Well, of course, every single helmet that we make, the brim is designed to match the top profile of the goggle. Now, not only does that make sure that they fit nicely together, but it makes sure that they give you that gap-free fit. So obviously a little bit more comfort because you're not gonna have that gape or gap in there, allowing fresh, cold air hitting the top of your forehead, but also it's gonna give you that vent system to still actively do its job. So cold air moving into the goggle, evacuating that hot air out, keeping that climate nice and secure and controlled and comfortable. Keeping that temperature static is going to keep fog at bay all day long, no matter what the conditions do or no matter how hard that you're working. Okay, so with that said, let's maybe show kind of how this system works together. So if I take our new 10-mile MIPS here, I'll go ahead and put this puppy on. Now I got my helmet on. First thing I'm gonna wanna do is go ahead and tighten that rear dial. I got the rear dial nice and secure. The helmet is nice and tight. There's no wibble and wobble, but I got the brim nicely level with the ground. I don't have it up exposing my forehead. I don't have it down moving into the top peripheral of my vision. Now from here is how that goggle comes into play. So I have my personal favorite, the Adapt 2 here. How I like to put on my goggle is get that strap out of the way, get it on your face, right up against the brim of that helmet. Now we're gonna pull that strap around, get it into the goggle catch on the rear. And a really important thing here is how that strap is orientated, and not too far up and not too far down, allows this to sit properly on my face, have a nice good seal, and then make sure that I have that gap-free fit against the brim and the top profile of the goggle. So with that gap eliminated, what that's gonna allow is the vents built into the brim of the helmet are allowed to let that cold air come in through the top vents, flushing the system and keeping it nice and climate controlled inside the goggle. That static temperature is really the best thing to prevent fogging when you're moving, okay? So whether you're working extremely hard, whether you're just out for a long period of time, this is going to be the best system to be wearing to combat that fog issue that you may have experienced in the past. So lastly, now that I've got this all on, I've got it nice and secure, I'm comfortable, I'm happy. One thing that is extremely important to combat fog and how this system is going to work best together is to keep the system together and keep the system on. All too often, we like to remove our goggles at the end of a run, we're standing in the lift line, or we're riding up the chair. Go ahead and keep your goggle on, and keeping that static temperature intact is going to give you that ultimate fog-free performance. If we're moving it up on top of our helmet, if we're taking it on, we're taking it off, it's going to change that temperature differential between the lens and my face. If I keep that nice and happy, I'm not going to have any issues. So do your best to get this buddy set and then forget about it for the day. So again, don't think about your helmet and don't think about your goggle as two separate pieces of equipment. This is a system that's made to work together to change the way that you ride, that you ski. If you have any questions about why Glade helmets and why Glade goggles are best together, give us a shout. Otherwise, we'll see you out there.